Well, hey everybody, Jonathan Doyle with you once again. Welcome back to the Daily Message. So glad you could stop by. Hope you're doing well. Hit that subscribe button and please go and grab yourself free access to my book, Bridging the Gap. There's a link here. We're going to send you a couple of chapters every few days. You're going to love it. So go hit that link. Please leave something in the comments if you want to comment on the video or you've got particular topics you'd love me to cover. Go do that. But make sure you subscribe. It's really important. Today, we are jumping into a quote from the brilliant pre-Socratic Ionian philosopher Heraclitus of Ephesus. Ephesus on the shores of ancient Asia Minor. We're going to jump into this because Heraclitus is going to remind us of something that I've been going on about for quite a few weeks. And I want to go into this again because when you see the great thinkers of the last few thousand years constantly telling us the same thing, there's probably something in it. So let's jump into this quote from Heraclitus. Let's do it. The content of your character is your choice. Day by day, what you choose, what you think, and what you do is who you become. All right, I should say that some of the purists who watch this channel would say, Jonathan, it's pronounced Heraclitus. Heraclitus, follow your heart, friends, whatever sounds better. He's not here to complain about it, right? So there is so much in this beautiful quote. It's carrying on this theme that I've been sharing over the last few weeks from Carl Jung, Alfred Adler, a lot of the Stoic philosophers, and in last week's episodes, we kind of kept exploring similar themes, which is the tension between our modern, highly victim-centered world, right? So this is a modern culture that's highly victim-centered. One of the ways to get extra recognition, extra cash, is to prove that you are somehow being hardly done by, and therefore you deserve some form of special treatment. I do not deny that there have been people throughout history who have been the victims of great injustice, but I think you and I both know what we're talking about in this modern victim-centered culture. Heraclitus is telling us that we have this phenomenal power in shaping who we are. We have this incredible power day by day to shape who we are becoming. You know, some people have famously said that we are not human beings, we are human becomings. That we are not so much hard fixed in the totality of who we are, but we have this incredible power and ability in shaping who we become over time. You notice that he refers to things like what we think. And as you have heard me say many times recently, the biggest revelation probably for me of the last couple of years has been this revelation around the idea that whatever your brain is serving up to you is highly, highly optional. We fall into the trap, I think many of us are thinking that whatever our brain is giving us, whatever thoughts are flowing through our heads, is reality. It's been a massive change for me to begin to critique everything. You know, a few nights ago, I woke up about 2 a.m. and there was this whole barrage of negative thinking going on. And I felt myself floating down that river of negativity and stressing about something. And I don't stress a lot these days, not compared to what I used to. And I found myself at 2 a.m. speaking to myself, going, Jonathan, get a grip, get a hold of it now. And I began to use these other thought processes and patterns to push back. It's just literally like a conflict in my mind, literally. And so some of you are going to say, what are you telling us, Jonathan? You hear voices? Like, what's going on in your head, Jonathan? Literally that, like literally this conflict between dark and light, negativity, positivity, hope and despair, constantly. But what Heraclitus is telling us is that we get to choose. We can actually choose our thoughts. And not just our thoughts, what we think, but he's also telling us literally what we choose to eat, where we choose to go, what we choose to watch. I mean, no one literally forces you to watch something on your computer or your phone or television. It's always a choice. I used to teach for many years that beautiful word decision, which is obviously linked to choice, comes from the Latin decisio, which means to cut off from. So making any decision, choosing anything, is simultaneously a decision to cut off. It's to say no to something else. So what would it mean to you to really come to terms with the reality that you have this incredible role in shaping who you're becoming? an incredible role in shaping your future. This isn't magical thinking, like if you just think, I own a Ferrari, it's going to appear. Well, it can appear as the end result of a whole bunch of thought processes and choices and decisions. It can, if that's what you want, if that's what floats your boat. But let's all begin to move beyond the victim thinking. Let's begin to move beyond the someone else is responsible. Can you imagine what the world would be like if kind of more and more people took a radical responsibility, not just for their own outcomes and happiness, but for the impact of their behaviours on others? Imagine that. It'd be extraordinary. So have some courage here. No matter where your life has brought you to so far, whether you're happy in your life or you're despairing right now, it can definitely get better in either context. If you think your life is rocking right now, then it can get better. If you think your life is in the toilet right now, it can get better. How? Decisions, choices, thought processes, literally becoming a co-author. In Latin, there's a beautiful term, particeps creatoris, which means co-creators. It's a spiritual principle that we co-create with God, that we literally co-create reality, that God, the universe, places us into the human story, into the reality of existence, and we get to shape what goes forward from there. What a beautiful thought, right? That we're not passive victims of somebody else's injustice. Yeah, there's injustice, but there's always freedom of choice. And again, I did an interview this morning with some people in Texas, and I'm like, if that's not true, go and read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, right? Who is in Auschwitz in the extermination camp, but he refuses to let the evil of others shape his thought processes, his choices, and his behaviours. So I can promise you, friends, there are men and women who have been in the most horrific places in reality, but have gone on to make extraordinary music out of the raw material of their suffering. That's quite poetic, wasn't it? Should write that down. So God bless you. Be encouraged. Whatever you're doing, whether, like I said, whether it's good or whether it's not, it's not over. The story of your life is not finished. It hasn't been finished yet. So take some courage from this. Practical steps from this message. Become really good at monitoring your thinking. Push back against it. Fight against it. Become really good at noticing your decisions. Are they moving you forward or are they holding you back? You're not passive. You're not passive. All right, that's it. Please make sure you're subscribed. Please hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Hit the notification button if you're on the video stream. If you're listening on the podcast, please subscribe. Reach out. Send me an email, jonathan@jonathandoyle.co. Otherwise, all the other links are here. If you want to book me to speak, anything like that, it's all there. God bless you, everybody. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, and I'll have another message for you tomorrow.